So then when the other things hit, it's back to right.
We're recording.
Oh, we're recording.
And I agree. So waiting for those
No, they're all talking.
I know. There's no way for it to fully go away.
I would like to call this special meeting of the Knox County Commission, the special Thursday, November 21st meeting of the Knox County Commission to order. Everyone is here. I will open up the floor to public comment. Is there any public comment? Seeing as there's none, we will close the public comment period and move on to the action items. We have 4 action items on the agenda. Number 1 is an act on interest to be charged to municipalities in 2024 dispatch fees paid late.
Moved. Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
I will just comment that we send out reminder letters to the towns and the cities in August to remind them of due dates. So although we may send letters out in April, we do send a reminder figuring that may fall off the radar for most. And in 2023, because of all the changes we had gone through, we had opted not to charge interest. So we took a break last year from doing that.
And according to my reading of this, there's only 2 towns that paid late.
Correct.
And they both paid late. They mailed the payments in on the day that it was due. Is that right?
No. We have to go by the postmark on when they actually put it in the mail and when it's postmarked, not the day we receive it.
Right.
Both of them had put it in the mail after the date.
Okay, because...
What was the date?
9/1.
Oh,
So they were
okay.
just a few days.
No. They were a month late.
Well, Natinicus
Yeah.
was.
Right.
Yeah, but the other one, yeah, okay.
And I know we're supposed to and all that. That's how you get people to pay on time. But I would recommend voting not to charge them any interest.
I'll second that.
But so I think that's just a matter of voting it down. Would that take care of that? Do that?
Yes.
Any further discussion? No. I do appreciate your work trying to get them to pay on time, and yes, I don't know that we suffer greatly because of that, but that they pay late. So, all those in favor? Oh, all those in favor would charge them interest.
Yeah.
Because that's what we put on the motion was to charge them interest.
Yeah.
The motion was not to charge them interest?
Are you saying you think you should charge them?
No,
interest?
no. The motion is an act on interest to be charged. So the motion at that point that's on the floor is to charge them interest.
No.
So if we vote it down, we won't charge them interest. So all those in favor of charging them interest, raise your hand. All those opposed, raise your hand. Okay. So it fails 3-0. Well, 0-3. Okay. The next thing we have on the agenda is an act to approve job descriptions for per diem chaplain. Who would like to fill us in?
I could just go over that.
Before you do, I'll accept the motion to accept the
Second?
it's been moved and seconded. Thank you.
So we've had a chaplain position for several years. The person that was doing it was in corrections, and he was full-time county employee. This person we're looking at hiring is a strictly part-time person, and he has recently attended the week-long class to be a certified police chaplain at the police academy, and he has over 30 years of corrections experience, and he was is also has experience at Saginaw County Sheriff's Office as a deputy as well. So basically, we're looking to sort of solidify it. We've always had the position, and it's going to be used as if approved, it would be used as needed. There's no set hours to the position. So.
Any more discussion?
I think it's a good idea.
I do too.
So my question is, you already have somebody in mind for this position?
We do.
And have we put enough money in the budget for a line like this that'll cover it?
Yes, there's funds in the per diem line on the patrol side of the budget.
Is that,
Excuse me, is he working by the hour?
As needed,
As
so
needed.
he may go months without using them. We can use them at certain events, critical events, deaths. Employees can take advantage of it. It's totally voluntary. It's non-denominational. And the biggest thing for us is it's like a lawyer-client privilege, the confidentiality. That's very important. So whatever they share with this person stays confidential.
Chief, Sheriff?
Just to give a little more background. So Chief is talking specifically about one applicant in particular, but broad brush, it is a position that we've never really officially had. The county has had volunteer chaplains over the years from the different religious sects throughout the county. Around 2019 or so, when Tim Carroll became sheriff, we did have a staff member who was also an ordained minister at his own church. So the sheriff used that person as the chaplain, because the other chaplains had all kind of stepped away because volunteerism is becoming a rare thing. So the choice was made to use that staff member. That staff member had retired about a year or so ago. So we have been left vacant with anybody to kind of provide those faith services. But also around the Chief's point around what we call crisis intervention or crisis mediation. Part of that is after incident debriefings. The state has allowed us to employ staff that are part of these teams, but sometimes staff members are not comfortable in speaking to other staff members, even though they do have that same confidentiality. It is still a person that's connected to them directly. By having kind of a third-party chaplain that we have on staff, we'll maybe open that up so that more people will seek that service, knowing it is probably a little more confidential, not that it isn't by statute, just from their own peace of mind. So that's one of the other reasons, is to try to give us another step there. But the challenge, as you probably appreciate from the risk pool side of things, is anytime people are on our property conducting business, who's covering them? By them being a staff member, that falls within our own versus us having to seek them out as a vendor. So.
Any questions?
I absolutely support this, and I think, just a couple things that stand out is, to help advance the overall well-being of the officers, staff, family members, the sheriff's office, stress management, resiliency, mental, emotional, spiritual health, and just having somebody that they can feel they can go to and talk confidentially about a variety of things, given all the things that we know go on out there and that they all are exposed to. I absolutely support this.
Any other conversation?
I agree 100%. For those that need it, it should be available.
Okay. I would just make the observation that if we only arrest people who don't have any religious beliefs, we'll save a lot of money in the future.
So one caveat to add is, Amber just mentioned me, is who is this person available to? It would be available to any county staff member or any public member who is involved in working with us.
So we'll send out something that sends it out to all the county staff, not just to the jail. Great.
Thanks for adding that in.
Yeah.
That's good.
That makes a difference. All those in favor? 3 in favor, none opposed.
Chair, I think I seconded I move the motion, number one motion, act on interest to be charged. I move that, and I think it was seconded.
Yes.
So do we have to first just get rid of that before we move on?
We did vote on that.
We did.
We voted it down.
You changed it.
Well, no, I voted it just the way it was, which was an act to charge interest. So we voted it down so that we're not charging the interest.
Okay.
I mean, we can change it if you'd like to bring it back up again.
No.
Since you voted in the majority, you have that ability to bring it
As
back.
long as the notes indicate that we did so. Okay, thank you.
I think. If there's another interpretation, I'll hear it. Number 3 is an act to close the Knox County administrative offices for the Christmas Eve holiday. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Seconded?
It's been moved and seconded. I think we need to describe exactly what Christmas Eve holiday is a little better in terms of, that's the whole day before Christmas is now called Christmas Eve?
It's always been.
No, it's Eve means in the evening, doesn't it?
Well, you can just use the date of December 24th if you'd like. Keep it non-denominational.
Okay. Any discussion? Do you want to introduce this at all, or do we just vote on it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can say some stuff, but
I mean, I would bring up again the fact that I don't celebrate Christmas, and having a day off for Christmas and now having 2 days off is a bit problematic because I would rather take other days off.
yeah.
So in the future, I would like to see us follow something that goes in the direction of a floating holiday, so people can choose what days they want to work and what days they don't work, depending on their religious beliefs, not on the dominant paradigm.
100%. Yeah.
But in the meantime, this is what's on the table. So. Any other discussion?
None.
Don't shake your head like that.
No comment.
Okay. All those in favor? 3 in favor, none opposed. The 4th one is an act to authorize the chair to sign an agreement between the County of Knox and the SMRT Group for services related to current and future correctional costs.
So moved.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. And we have the sheriff address this still.
So good afternoon. So I forwarded you some information you should have got to review ahead, but just to kind of recap. So SMRT Group is a group that we, specifically Knox County, have worked with before with our jail facility. So our jail facility currently is about 32 years old. So it is getting there in age, which you have experienced in some of our requests for capital projects over the last several years. So that's us in particular. So SMRT did work with us in 2006 on a very finite level to see whether it was worth expanding our jail or not. The commission and sheriff at the time decided it was better to try to work on alternative sentencing and diversion type things versus trying to expand the jail because it is quite costly to do any kind of physical plant, especially new construction. So that was what was decided at the time, but as we all are experiencing increased populations, increased demands by the court system to do something different, even they are doing things different in prosecution side of things, which sometimes is causing problems for us in particular around pretrial status individuals. Especially through COVID, the 4 counties of what we call District 6, so Prosecutorial District 6, which District Attorney Natasha Irving is currently elected to, covers Waldo, Knox, Lincoln, and Sagadahoc. So the 4 counties, because we are in the same prosecutorial district, felt that it was wise for us to start looking at ways that we could collaborate in at least our correctional efforts in response to some of the challenges we saw in COVID in particular, where at some points we were down to 40% of our staffing at any of the 3 locations, because Lincoln and Sag share a facility called Two Bridges Regional Jail. So we started partnering with staff sharing, inmate sharing, if you will. So basically trying to house based off of our capabilities versus being a jail that housed everybody. We tried to look at what the capabilities of each facility was and house the inmates between the 4 counties in a facility that was appropriate for them. We are getting to the point where we are maximized that, and yet we are still facing the challenge of continually rising population, still having some challenges around staffing, not necessarily for us here in Knox, but Waldo and Lincoln are still having some, or Waldo and Two Bridges are still having some challenges. So in our collaborative group, which is the District 6 Corrections Collaborative, which is the 4 counties, we have membership from each of the commissions, the sheriffs, and then some population members of each of those 4 counties. I think the committee is about 15, if I recall. We meet on a regular basis to discuss what are the next steps. So the last several months, the next steps have been, we've exhausted our expertise in time availability, and we need an expert like SMRT to come in and give us a full assessment of what does each individual county look like now, what could they be seeing in the next 20 years, and then based off of that, what can we do collaboratively to be more efficient, to try to be, as we always are, cognizant of the fiscal note that comes along with corrections. So we reached out to a few groups. SMRT came back with a response. The group felt it was worth going with SMRT, so we are bringing that proposal before you folks today. The act is authorized the chair to sign because not all the counties are fully on board yet. Some of the membership of that group have not gone to the commissioners in their county as of yet to talk about it. So we wanted to get ahead of it a little bit, get your approval to do it. Once we have met with the other counties, the chair can then sign along with the other membership with SMRT. So I'll take any questions you have.
Is the 36,000 per county, or is that divided by 4?
That is per county.
It's per county.
Each county will get an individual report.
Right, I saw that.
And then there'll be a second stage based on an individual report if each county decides that, yes, we need to move forward. We're not sure what that proposal will be. It may be a wash, it may not, but they won't give us any numbers until we know who's going to be involved in the next stage.
Mm-hmm. So do the numbers change if not all the counties participate? So is ours share 36,000 for our study independent of if whether or not the other counties decide to?
Correct. That's my understanding. Is each county has their own independent amount.
Okay. Thank you.
Is it of value to the county to have this study done even if the other counties don't go along?
I believe very much so. As we've talked about in several of the past meetings, even though ARPA came along and was able to help us with some of our capital projects, those are just Band-Aids. Like I said, this is a 32-year-old facility, which includes all of the equipment in it at that same age. Our kitchen in particular is getting to the point where it's aging. Even the heating system and cooling systems that we've replaced are only temporary fixes. We still have a boiler system. We have a underground fuel tank, and there's just a bunch of other projects we still have to face with our current facility. And this would give us an opportunity to look at, is it worth continuing down that path of our current plan, or is an alternative path a better bang for our buck, if you will?
I'll just add that as part of the risk pool, all the counties that have jails associated with them, the risk pool issues and lawsuits that come up are very, very costly in that particular area. So anything that we can do to be proactive and also, address and provide the services, the facilities, and all of that we need can only be beneficial. And as we are being asked by the state more and more to add additional mandates, that open us to liability if we're not able to provide them. So we're kind of wedged between a rock and a hard place. And yeah, we've been patching this up. It's like putting lipstick on a pig for the past 8 years since I've been a commissioner. And we need to, I think that we have to invest money to save money and to provide the best services that we can, and also avoid opening ourselves up to liability. So I appreciate what you're trying to do, and I appreciate the collaborative efforts, but whether or not the other counties go along, I think that we need to address our own issues here.
And you did make me think of one thing, Commissioner. One of the challenges for our jail in particular is we're what they call a linear style jail. We're very staff dependent. So what that means is at any given time we need to be able to accept 70 inmates. In order to accept those 70 inmates, we need a staff of 7 people working. Because there's a 24-hour facility, that means at a minimum we need 28 people on our staff roster in order to keep our facility open to take 70 inmates. Two Bridges with a staff that I think is roughly 4 less than that, so I think it's 24-ish. Not 100% sure, but basically the point is less staffing, they can take 210 inmates because they're a more modern facility that is based off a pod style versus a linear style. So just something like that alone, just assessing whether we can reduce the amount of personnel by having a different style of housing, because personnel is one of the bigger costs in our budget. So just being able to have SMRT assess that may give us some insight to maybe it is cheaper to build a facility that has a few pods and have less staff, or keep the same staff to have more inmates, whichever it may be.
Sounds like there's basically 2 different kinds of reports we could be getting from this. One is if all of the other counties join, we're talking about a study of how we can collaborate better with the facilities we have, how we provide better service for less money, what kinds of things we can collaborate on. And if we do it on our own, is how to make our facility better and more efficient. So it's not exactly the same report depending on who else joins this.
Correct.
Question. With the pod style jail, what do they do with their high risk inmates?
So you still have a high risk area. It just requires a little more staffing. So, and that's all dictated by the state through the jail standards. So we wouldn't necessarily know what it is until we had a design and the state assessed that design. They would then tell us what our staffing requirement would be.
Yes. Thank you.
Also, the prisoners down there are much nicer than our prisoners, which is why they don't need nearly as many corrections officers. You know. Any other discussion?
So,
Seeing as there's none, all those in favor? 3 in favor, none opposed.
Thank you for bringing this to us. Thank you for the work you're all doing.
Next item on the agenda is calling for an executive session, to convene an executive session to discuss personnel matter pursuant to 1 MRSA 4056A.
so move.
Seconded?
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing as there's none, all those in favor? 3 in favor, none opposed. Thank you.
Is this a new addition, Ed?
Shall we go down to the table?
Too bad I couldn't bring mine in tonight. I'll bring it in for our next one. Yeah.
But I'll do that.
Do you go into Augusta every day?
Other days, I don't even-
No.
A lot of times,
Free
I
contract.
Choose from.
Good luck.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're the best.
I used to work in Augusta for years.
Yeah.
It's making
Well,
that
thank you.
commute.
That's very kind of you.
It's a long one, but
I said,
So I retired in 99.
yeah.
I think you're really close to worst of it.
No,
I'm hoping that by next summer, we've got stuff down and, yeah, it's no longer an almost daily.
Yeah, I know, it hasn't, hasn't it? I do think of that.
and I did.
It's anything.
We're recording.
Okay.
I think you're back on.
The Knox County Commission is back in session. Is there anything else to come before the commission?
Move we adjourn.
Second?
I've heard a move. Any discussion? Our next meeting is in an hour, which is a budget meeting, and then we don't have another meeting scheduled that I know of until our regular December meeting. Though we may wind up having something before then, but at this point we have no other meetings scheduled. And if there's nothing further to come before this, I'll take a vote. All those in favor of adjournment? 3 in favor, none opposed. Thank you all.
Thank you, see you in an hour.
Oh, good luck. I think I'll just take a nap right here. Then.
Yes, it's like, we should,